Hello everyone, it's the Nerdy Movie Guy, and today I want to talk about the movie War of the Worlds. Now, there have been two versions. There was a version made in 1953, and then there's the version I'm going to talk about today, the one from 2005, and that is the one with Tom Cruise. Now, of course, I have the 4K copy, and that's one of the things I want to talk about is how it looks. But in this movie, what I thought was really fascinating, the first thing you notice is the cinematography. Now, I saw this fairly recently, so I didn't see it when it came out, but I compared this movie's cinematography to Man of Steel. And what I mean by that is in Man of Steel, as Earth is being invaded, the way it's just shot, it just looks eerie. It looks how it would if Earth was really invaded by aliens. It was just the way Man of Steel was shot. It was just kind of scary seeing these big machines all over the world. And this movie kind of does the same thing, where the aliens in the movie, the machinery, it just looks so eerie. Just the way it's shot, rising from the smoke, walking on the city, evaporating people. It's almost scary to watch. It's an eerie movie. And I was able to watch it at nighttime, and I was one of those weird guys. I was like, you know what? This is kind of scary. Let's turn the lights off. I was like, all right, wait a minute. This is a little too creepy. So I turned it back on. But anyway. So in this movie, we get Tom Cruise, and he plays Ray. And he has his two kids, Rachel and Robbie. And in this movie, we don't see a lot of the dynamic between Ray and Rachel in the beginning, but between Ray and Robbie, there's this disconnect. And as we go on throughout the movie, we learn that he really probably doesn't have much involvement in his children's lives. And this is one of the parts of the storytelling that's key for the ending, is throughout the movie, it's building the rapport, it's building the relationships of Ray and his two children. And as this movie goes on, they have this undertones where Robbie has some great ideas while they're trying to survive, and they learn to rely on each other. And that's one of the beautiful things about this story is I love a movie where they just kind of take a dysfunctional family and you can see them repairing their relationships. I don't know. It's just something to me that I always find fascinating. And this movie does it well. So in this movie, I'm not an expert on CGI. I can't say whether or not it looked good or not. You gotta remember, this is 2005. Now, some of you guys say, yeah, 2005 definitely looks worse than CGI nowadays. Or there's some people that might say, 2005, it honestly looked better. Regardless, the cinematography was something I found really fascinating. The relationships in this movie I found really fascinating. And just the way the story paced. The pacing was something that I found really, really intriguing. And the movie starts, they're in the city. Obviously, he has a home. And as the machinery in the city, they have to figure out a way to survive, try to find where they're going to go to be safe. They're waiting for the military to deal with this thing. And throughout the movie, you're seeing thousands and thousands of people dying at a time. And it gives you the sense of you don't know if there's gonna be any survivors. And I don't want to spoil too much, but the military, the machinery kind of destroys some of the military. And you just get this sense that there's really nothing they can do. I mean, these things are destroying tons of people at a time. And it just gives you that sense of dread. And I thought it worked so well because I felt the dread watching this movie. So, again, with the pacing, it builds to a big ending. There's a plot twist toward the end. Throughout the movie, they have these machinery. It keeps you guessing on what the aliens might look like. It keeps you guessing, are there aliens? Is there machinery? Are there people inside? Is it just robots? And it kind of keeps you guessing as to what these things really are. So by the end of the movie, they have this big ending where they're going toe-to-toe with the enemy, and it's just exciting. Throughout the movie, you're just on the edge of your seat. You're wondering what's going to happen, and when you get toward the final act, it's just exciting. It's a satisfying ending. You're just falling in love with these characters, and it's one of those movies that kind of takes a handful of characters in the beginning that maybe some of them are kind of bratty and you don't know if you're really going to root for them. By the end of the movie, you're rooting for these guys. And I love this kind of story. So I'd love to hear what you guys think about this movie. If you haven't seen it before, it's a great watch. It was a fun movie. You know, if you don't like that early 2000s CGI, then, you know, if you're able to ignore that for this movie, I think you're going to enjoy what this movie has to offer. So thanks so much for listening, and thanks for watching, guys.